Hello and welcome to the Daily Reds, your daily reminder that the Reds are the 20 times champions of the country of England. And we today have some tremendous news for you. After what feels like a torturous period of waiting, there has finally been some concrete enunciations around Florian Wirtz. The usual suspects of Ornstein and Joyce tweeting today around the details of a verbal agreement with Bayer Leverkusen. Ornstein says to sign Florian Wirtz, paperwork must be drafted for the deal worth £100 million plus 16 million in add-ons for the 22-year-old Germany playmaker, who's expected to do his medical before completing the move from Bayer to LFC on an expected 5-year contract. What else we got there by way of tweets? Well, we can maybe go to the main man here, Paul Joyce, for Liverpool fans. He says Liverpool have agreed a deal with Bayer Leverkusen. There's no talk of verbal there. That could see a new British record transfer of £116 million being set. The fee is split between £100 million guaranteed and then bonuses of up to £16 million. There's a lot I want to get into with that later on around British transfer records and stuff like that. It's very relevant, actually, to today's news. Very relevant indeed, actually. But for a little bit of colour on this, let's go to our own Gibbo, Eddie Gibbs, typing into his Twitter machine today, hashtag Florian Friday, Wirtz turns the tide red. And he says, Wirtz did not choose money, he chose a challenge. Faced with the safe inevitability of Bayern and the uncertain allure of Guardiola's City, he chose LFC, not out of romance, but because it made footballing sense. A slot did not dazzle him with empty promises. He offered a stage, a role, a plan, be the fulcrum, the press breaker, the game tilter, the boy who helped Bayern end Bayern's grip on the Bundesliga, turned his back on them to help Liverpool rise again. City's pitch had the gloss, but not the guarantee. Guardiola's future is unclear, and so is any young player's prominence in a squad where £100 million can sit quietly on a bench. Wirtz saw it for what it was. The idea of replacing De Bruyne was not enough. He did not want to follow, he wanted to lead. At Liverpool, he will do both. He joins the club that humiliated his Leverkusen side last autumn and never let go. The same club where he chose his close friend Frimpong now waits, and where the crowd roar like the believers, which Klopp emancipated them too from the doubters moniker. This is not a gamble. It is a statement. Wirtz is 22 and already presses like a demon, creates like a veteran, dribbles with intent and passes under pressure better than almost anyone in Europe. He's not just a luxury player. He is the first line of defence. Liverpool did not win a tug of war. They passed a test of conviction, and Wirtz, says Eddie, to his credit, also passed his. Nice bit of colour there just to get us going on this whole thing. And I know for a fact that a lot of people are massively excited. Since I've heard it, I just have that Louis Theroux meme of him sort of looking a bit quizzically askance to one side with the caption, he's walking around with his willy out. Because that's exactly what it feels like, doesn't it? That Liverpool have, made a very grandiose statement here about their intentions for the future. And that's kind of where I want to go with it. Before we get into any of the details, and I'll break it down further, maybe about the money, I think it's really interesting that this could be a British transfer record. Because, as you all know, I am as old as dirt. And back in the day when I was but a little stripling of 3 years of age, going 4, Liverpool set a transfer record for Kenny Dalglish, British transfer record. At the time, in 1977, August 1977, that was 440,000. Now, what's relevant about this isn't that my hero was signed for a British transfer record. It isn't that Liverpool, were setting records back then and showing their status. It isn't that Kenny Dalglish proved to be such an influential figure, and that if Wirtz could have a fraction of that impact, he would be a Liverpool legend. It's not that, no. It's that in 1976-77, Liverpool won the league. They were the first division champions. In 1976-77, Liverpool won the European Cup. They were the champions of Europe. And about to do it again with Kenny and the team the next season. And I think that's the relevant thing, that we were in a period of success. We were coming off the ultimate thing, which is, for most people at least, winning the league. The ultimate statement of consistency of your status as a football team is winning the league, especially the most competitive league, TM, in the world, the Premier League. And on the back of Liverpool having done that, I honest to God thinks people had started to forget that we were the champions with the level of disgruntlement I was hearing. Against that backdrop, the Florian Wirtz deal has been done. And here's the kicker. Those £16 million in add-ons that will bring it to a British record transfer fee, those £16 million will be dependent on success. And that success is exactly what Florian Wirtz was brought to Liverpool for, while that money will have been spent on him. I just think it's absolutely fascinating. You know, the progress of transfer deals through the years. I mean, and in 77, there was an outgoing transfer fee of 500,000 where Kevin Keegan, that's the immediate predecessor to Dalglish, a man who won 2 Ballon d'Ors, much to the shock of some of these. Let me use the phrase, because I might as well sort of embrace the burgeoning boomer tendencies. These snot-nosed kids you see on the Twitter machine talking about football. They don't know about football. They don't understand that football existed before, most of them, the early 2000s, mid-2000s. This guy, Kevin Keegan, was so good that he won 2 Ballon d'Ors. He was a transfer record away from Liverpool for £500,000, and his replacement, a British transfer record within the British Isles, was Kenny Dalglish of £440,000. And Kenny went on to be so much more important in Liverpool lore than Keegan was. But people sleep on how important Keegan was to us. He was the best player in Europe, attested to as such by that famous pot that people are still making a balls of the decision around to this day. But it's just really, really, I think, so significant that we are doing this, that Liverpool are doing this from a point of success, from a position of strength. It's exactly what we want to do. A period of dominance. Well, the only way you get to a period of dominance is by having a situation where you strengthen while you're strong. And even when you're winning, you say, yeah, this can always be improved. And we are talking now about a squad that won the Premier League, and we're very, very quick to cast lads away and say they're not good enough, in inverted commas. I fall into that trap myself. But we forget that these are still very, very good footballers. And so to improve on them, and this is something that Klopp used to say to his credit, they're going to have to be very good. Florian Wirtz represents that category of footballer. I think perhaps Jeremy Frimpong may prove to as well, and Milos Kerkez may prove to as well, and they look, well, one's done and one looks as good as. But it doesn't stop there, because today we're already being linked with other attackers and strikers, and apparently the rumours are that the money is there for them, and that is a thing that we are going to do. It is incredibly exciting. It has to be said, incredibly exciting. Some more feedback just on This Is Anfield, on their banner headline about the Wirtz move, written by Jack Lusby. Florian Wirtz signing is like the old days for Liverpool. That's what champions do, in inverted commas. And it's basically an article detailing the breakdown. And insisting that this is going to go past the 115 million signing of Moises Caicedo in 2023. and insisting as well that it's still going to be a busy summer for Liverpool. And there's some tweets that are quoted, and it's just interesting to see, you know, Cy Steers saying, building from a position of strength, that's what champions do. LFC making a statement of intent with Wirtz, and hopefully an end forever telling dead that FSG are worthy custodians of our club. You have to throw that in just to muddy the waters, because some people are still grey areas with these guys. Chris Williams saying, cannot underestimate just how good Wirtz is. To see him in red is a massive statement of intent from Liverpool. Yes, it's a lot of money, but it's a backing of the club and squad that fans have been waiting to see. And that's inarguable, what Chris says there. Bill Big, from a position of success. It didn't happen in 2020, but it is now. Yeah, I mean, that's basically what I've been saying on Raw every single week, it feels, for years, since those two trophies were won back to back, and even before. It just felt like, can we just go the extra yard? And there was always that little aspect, just that. And these are the differences, you know, that there would be one area of the team that we just wouldn't address. It's like, oh, we're just gonna fly by the seat of our pants with the midfield this year. We're just going to fly by the seat of our pants with the defense this year. We're just going to roll the dice, see how it works out. And you see how these things work out. You know, 2 or 3 lads get injured, your season's screwed. It's the difference maker. And of course, then means that the depth of actual quality in the squad, if fellas are heading out, is going to improve, because these new first teamers come in, and some people are going to be bumped back out, and that means that, you know, you have this depth of quality, and that's exciting. That's champion stuff, you know. That's exactly where we want to be. And I find the whole thing today very, very, very reassuring, actually, about my hopes for the Slot era, were that, you know, finally there would be this sort of wisdom to see that when you have won a thing, that's when you have to be most active. And it does have sort of 87, 88 vibes about it, to bring back Kenny into the fold here. Although, you know, 85, 86 was Kenny's player-manager double winning season. And the greatest thing I've ever seen, actually, to be honest. And, you know, it's actual Roy of the Rover stuff. And then 86, 87 came along. And in the 80s, if Liverpool didn't win the league, they were second. And, you know, it a little bit like the way it is with City now, except with more Liverpool wins. And so 86, 87 felt like a failure season. Even though there was a lot of good footballers still at the team, it felt like there was something that needed to be done. And Ian Rush was gone off the Juve. And all of a sudden, the signings came in. John Barnes, Peter Beardsley, John Aldridge, Ray Houghton. And we had revamped the team into the kind of unit that couldn't be lived with. That 87, 88 Liverpool football team, oh my God. Probably as good a team as I've ever seen. Just an absolute machine. And an exciting machine to watch as well. And so think about, you know, the best aspects of Klopp football and Slot football, which last season was a mixture of. It had to be, because Slot had to sort of adapt and, you know, work with the tools that he had, which were used to maximum impact in a certain way that had been forged by a man before him. So it was always going to be a mixture of, you know, as the kids say these days, Klopp ball and Slot ball. But imagine the evolution now. Imagine seeing, you know, imagine seeing our team go from what was at times, you know, we'd do 20 minutes of great football during last season, and then the rest of it was kind of work a day, and we'd often see different iterations of Liverpool within a single game, sometimes for the good, sometimes for the bad, but enough over the course of the season to get the job done. But imagine a step up. Imagine a step up where we now have the likes of Wirtz unleashing the mayhem he can unleash, breaking lines, supplying passes, scoring goals, going past people. It's so exciting.
The Reds, it's Jack here, and that was a clip from one of Anfield Index's audio podcasts. If you have enjoyed the video, make sure you do like, share and subscribe to keep up to date on all things LFC. We record around 100 audio podcasts every month, with our shows featuring match-going fans, top journalists, professional analysts, and even Liverpool legends along the way, with the great Dane himself, Jan Molby, joining us every single week. If you want to listen to all our podcasts for free, head over to anfieldindex.com/podcasts. Our audio shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Anfield Index. Or if you prefer to listen to all our podcasts in full and without any ads, why not head over to AI Pro today to check it out now at AnfieldIndexPro.com. If you want to get involved in the great growing community of Liverpool fans, check out the Anfield Index Discord. The link is in the description. Do get involved with that, from Reds around every corner of the globe. For now, Reds, hope you enjoyed this video.